Imagine a warrior so ruthless, he systematically hunted down and eradicated an entire royal bloodline. And he did not stop at one. He wiped out 21 consecutive generations, spilling so much blood that it turned 5 entire rivers red. This was a man of absolute, terrifying obedience. When his father fell into a blind rage and ordered the execution of his own wife, 4 sons outright refused the command. The youngest simply stepped forward, raised his weapon, and beheaded his mother without a second of hesitation. Yet the most perplexing part of his story is his origin. He was born a Brahmin. In ancient India, this social class was strictly forbidden from combat, entirely dedicated to peaceful meditation, the pursuit of knowledge, and reciting sacred texts. He also carries a much heavier identity. He is Lord Parshuram, the immortal 6th incarnation of Vishnu, the supreme deity known across Hindu theology specifically as the protector and preserver of the universe. His endless slaughter was not blind madness. When the systems meant to protect humanity fail completely, the preserver of the universe has to become its most fearsome destroyer to force a reset and save the Earth. To understand why a preserver would resort to genocide, you have to look at the Kshatriyas. These were the traditional warrior kings, a ruling class sworn to a divine duty: shield the vulnerable and uphold justice across the land. Under the reign of a seemingly invincible king named Sahasrabahu, a ruler rumored to possess 1,000 arms and unmatched martial prowess, that protective mandate mutated. His empire expanded through the systematic oppression and brutal torture of ordinary citizens. When the very people given the power to protect society decide to tear it apart instead, minor corrections fail. The universe demands a total, uncompromising purge of the entire corrupt system. The creation of this living weapon actually started a generation earlier, during a complex fertility ritual. A powerful sage named Maharishi Ruchik prepared divine offerings for his wife, Satyavati, and her mother, who was of royal blood. The sage engineered 2 completely different divine offerings, one perfectly formulated to yield a calm Brahmin son, the other infused with aggressive energy for a warrior heir. But in a critical error, the mothers accidentally swapped the offerings. Satyavati, destined to birth a line of peaceful scholars, absorbed the intensely aggressive essence meant for a king. The sage delayed the effect to his grandson, but the biological consequence was irreversible. When Parshuram was born, he carried this anomaly. He was bred as a scholar, but cosmically engineered from conception to operate as a living weapon. This lethal conditioning was put to the ultimate test within his own family. His mother, Renuka, had always been purely devoted to her husband, Rishi Jamdagini. But one day, by the river, she felt a fleeting moment of attraction toward a passing stranger. When her husband sensed this lapse in purity, his rage was absolute. Jamdagini turned to his 5 sons and gave a horrifying order: execute your mother. Overwhelmed by the brutal command, the 4 older brothers flatly refused to commit matricide. Then Parshuram stepped forward. Prioritizing the strict law of his father's word over his flesh and blood, he severed her head. His father was immensely pleased by this unquestioning obedience and offered Parshuram any boon he desired. Parshuram instantly asked for his mother and brothers to be brought back to life, with all memories of their execution completely wiped away. This bizarre test reveals the core of his character. He proved a chilling detachment from personal emotion, pledging his loyalty strictly to the rules of cosmic order. He possessed the exact mindset required to judge the kings of the earth without an ounce of mercy. The spark that ignited his global war came directly from the corrupt king Sahasrabahu. Drunk on his own invincibility, the king visited the ashram of Parshuram's father and forcefully stole Kamdenu, a sacred wish-granting cow. Parshuram's retaliation was overwhelming. He marched against the king, rained down thousands of arrows upon his army, and systematically hacked off every single one of Sahasrabahu's 1,000 arms before taking his head. Terrified, the king's sons fled. But waiting for the perfect opportunity, they cowardly ambushed the peaceful ashram and murdered Parshuram's father while he meditated, striking his body exactly 21 times. Discovering his father's mutilated body, Parshuram swore an apocalyptic oath. For the 21 wounds inflicted on his father, he would hunt down and slaughter the entire Kshatriya ruling class 21 separate times. He spent years executing royal heirs, leaving only pregnant women to ensure humanity's survival. This multi-generational purge was his divine purpose activating. The earth was choking under aristocratic tyranny, and Vishnu's avatar stepped forward to sever the rot at its root. Eventually, the era of total war concluded. Seeking to atone for decades of relentless bloodshed, Parshuram abandoned his conquests and retreated deep into the mountains to meditate. His isolation held firm until the next era, the Treta Yuga, when a massive sound echoed across the world. A young Kshatriya prince had just snapped Lord Shiva's divine bow in half. Enraged that a warrior had touched a divine artifact, Parshuram arrived ready to fight. But the prince standing before him was Sri Ram, another earthly incarnation of Lord Vishnu. In a tense confrontation, Parshuram looked into Ram's eyes and immediately recognized his shared divinity. He saw that humanity was finally in the hands of a truly righteous king, signaling that his violent mandate was over. True divine power requires the wisdom to recognize when the world no longer needs a weapon, and the humility to voluntarily pass the torch. In the following era, the Dwapar Yuga, he evolved entirely into a master teacher. Rather than fighting on the front lines, he trained the greatest martial minds in Hindu mythology, including legends like Bhishma, Dronacharya, and Karna. Unlike Ram or Krishna, who eventually discarded their human forms, Parshuram is classified as a Chiranjeevi. He is fully immortal, a deity who never abandoned his physical body and never returned to the heavens. Texts dictate that he is still physically present on Earth right now, meditating silently in the remote peaks of the Mahendragiri mountain during our current era, the Kali Yuga. His watch continues for one final monumental task. He is actively waiting to train Kalki, the predicted 10th and final avatar of Vishnu, destined to bring about the apocalypse and cleanse a completely corrupted world. Lord Parshuram stands as the universe's ultimate insurance policy. He remains a terrifying but necessary guardian, waiting patiently in the shadows. And the exact moment humanity's cruelty peaks once again, he will be there to restore the balance.